Imagine that I had to make a living as a potter. And I'd have to toil a whole day and late into the night to make pots and pots and pots. And then came the Sabbath, and to make a pot on the Sabbath would be breaking the Sabbath. It's not something that I should be doing to produce more pots. Now at this point, I'm working at a brokerage. I'm sick and tired of numbers and of papers and of all these things, and now comes the day that I can really be myself. And I take out the potter's wheel, and I throw a pot, and I live completely in that thing. Am I breaking the Sabbath or not? I'm not saying this. I'm saying that the person who does it in this way, as I described it, I can't say that that person broke the Sabbath. There's a difference between that. I'm not saying everybody don't go to synagogue and throw pots. But the same thing is with gardening and so on. So we would consider gardening to be breaking the Sabbath if I had to do this for a living. But it's not that I want to hire a gardener, let's say. I'm not speaking for myself, but I can speak for other people whom I feel would say that. I don't want to hire anyone to do it. I want to get my hands on that. Well, that's true, and I have a problem also with what other people do with it. If I were to say, what does the Sabbath tell me to do? It tells me move out of production into being, okay? And I know that a lot of production is happening on the Sabbath, from going to the synagogue and having classes and doing this and doing that. All of these are good, holy things. But when a person says, I worked the whole week, and now I want to be in God's presence without doing anything. So I have a sense that the inner, I don't want to say spirit, the inner essence of it, what it's all about, is more fulfilled by the person who can do that. So while I wouldn't say that people should go ahead and do gardening on Shabbos, I want them to come to the synagogue, and I want them to celebrate and to pray and to worship, to learn how to do that right so they don't spin their wheels. That's very important, because if I were to look at churches and synagogues today, I would see people coming and they don't know what to do, but doing it out of a certain obligation. And then what are you going away with? And I would like them to have something to go away with that. So that's important. But as you're raising the question about basic things, I wouldn't want to say that people should eat anything that isn't kosher. We keep our home very kosher. We don't answer the telephone on the Shabbos. I do a lot with my computers, but not on Shabbos. Who says so? I have a feeling that if you study it, you see that way, way back there were two opinions. There was Hillel, there was Shammai, there were some people who were more strict, some people who were less strict, and there is a whole continuum in that. I know that when people come from a heteronomic point of view saying, I don't know what the rules are, someone else tells me and I trust what that person's going to say, and if he says no, I won't do it. And you know what? That's a very good way for people who are learning in the beginning where it is. And the more I learn about the sources and the more I know, that tells me how to discriminate. I don't want to give up serving God. And I don't believe that the revelation doesn't carry truth. So I buy the truth from the revelation, and I want to serve God, but also from a point of view that is balanced today. And I think that's where Jewish renewal differs from Orthodoxy.